Now when you're working on a painting, how do you compare the reference photograph, such as that one there, to your painting? How do you look at it? This video will give you some ideas of the way that I tend to work on paintings like these here. So let me give you some ideas on how I do that. First of all, when I look at a reference photograph, I tend to pinch into the photo quite a lot. Initially, not all the time. So the idea would be that when you pinch into the reference photo, making sure to begin with the photograph is really large. There's no point trying to do this with a very small photograph, because you can't see the details, can you? I can then see the details before I start painting. I can also work out, when comparing the two together, the colours which I'll need for that painting. Just by zooming into those fine details, that's over zoomed now as you can see, within, for example, the top of the head, or within the eye, and how to work it. So when I'm looking at the reference photograph, normally I'll zoom in as I mentioned first of all, but then zoom right back out to a similar size as my painting. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. Is that a similar size? Something like that, isn't it? Maybe a little bit smaller. Maybe a little bit bigger. Smaller. Something like that will do. The problem is when you're working on a painting with such a lot of detail like this one here, you don't want to paint too much detail. You really don't. So when I'm working on this one, I want to make sure that I don't overpaint it too much. You can only paint what you can see at the end of the day, can't you? You really can. So yes, zoom in every now and again to ensure that you know the detail is going to be within there. And then replicate similar details to that using a photograph of the same size, or thereabouts. Near enough, isn't it? So as I mentioned, paint what you can see. That's all you need to think about. Another tip would be, when you're looking at your painting and you're not sure if something's not quite right on there, and you think, oh yeah, that's okay, but there's something wrong, I'm not sure what it is. How do you work out what that problem is? Well, one thing you can do is turn your reference photograph upside down like that, ta-da, and do the same thing with your painting, like so. The thing is, when you normally look at a photograph, you see an image of, say in this case, the barn swallow. But when you're looking at it upside down, you've got a completely different perspective on it, you really have. And because of that, it helps you to look at that reference photograph from a different perspective. And very often I will spot mistakes in my painting when I look at a photograph upside down. You see, normally with your photograph on an iPad, tablet, mobile phone, anything like that, is that it will automatically rotate like this as you turn it around. There you go, it's rotated again. So what I would do, I would turn off that rotation. So if I just drag down from the top right hand corner, there's my rotation there, look, I turn it off. Then I can turn that reference photograph upside down or to the side, whichever way I want to have it, without it switching around all the time. I do this a lot on my mobile phone anyway. One more tip I'm going to give you when you're looking at a reference photograph and you're in the middle of working on your painting. Look at it from a distance. Step back. Take your eyes away from the painting. And very often you see something that's not quite right. You do, because all the details are condensed together. So you don't see all the fine details you painted when you've been working on a painting like this one. Because from a distance you can't see the fine details within your painting. So from further back you see the painting as a whole subject, not just those tiny details. Because you won't be able to see them details at all. And sometimes, because you're looking from a distance, you'll spot something that's not quite right. It might be the colours might be slightly off. But then again, are the colours correct on the photograph? Are the colours correct on your tablet or iPad or mobile phone? They will all vary on the reference photograph depending on the device that you view it on. So worth bearing that in mind. Another tip I'm going to give you is to take a break. It's so important, because when you do take a break from painting a detailed painting like this one, for example, it's good to give those eyes a rest. I was told recently for a hospital appointment for my own eyesight is to use what's called the 20-20-20 method. What's that then? To look away for at least 20 feet, roughly every 20 minutes, and do that for just 20 seconds. That's all you need to do. Once you've done that, you save your eyesight from looking at something so detailed all the time. So remember, take a break. Go and put the kettle on, anything like that. That will help you refresh your eyes, so when you come back to your painting, very often you see something that's not quite right. Or you might even say, actually, I like that. Now, if you do fancy some more tips and tricks videos, have a look to the video to the top right hand corner of the screen. I'll see you there.